Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today, I read an interesting article on CNBC.com written by Talia Wexler titled, 45% of American homeowners have regrets about buying their current home. Here's their #1 complaint. This headline immediately caught my attention. I wondered, what is their #1 complaint? Well, according to a Bankrate survey, 45% of homeowners said their most common complaint is frustration over the price of maintenance costs and hidden fees. Oh, my friends, I predicted this years ago. After the pandemic, a lot of people wanted to capitalize on extremely low interest rates, so they went out and they bought a home, and they bought it without an inspection. They wanted to be competitive during that home buying frenzy. And I had to wonder, what are some of these folks thinking? I realized they wanted to take advantage of that low interest rate. They had the opportunity to purchase a home that ordinarily they would not have been able to afford. Well, some now have a home that they can no longer afford. They can afford the payment, but they can't afford to maintain it. A home is a machine for living, and like all machines, they require maintenance. But a home is a big machine, and that maintenance can be very, very expensive. Sometimes it's hard to even get a contractor to come out and give you an estimate. If you're lucky enough to get one to come out to give you an estimate, you're probably going to get sticker shock. I'm afraid some new homeowners have no clue what it costs to maintain a home. Some probably never thought replacing a roof would be as expensive as it is. Even on a small home, you can easily spend $10,000, $15,000 or more, depending on what it needs. Maybe someone waived inspections. They bought an older home that didn't have any type of sheeting on top of the old decking. Well, you're going to have to pay for OSB to be laid down before they can put some type of tar paper down and then lay shingles. Some people have no clue how much it costs for sheets of OSB, along with all the labor. Maybe the property that you bought has an old R22 AC system, and maybe that failed this summer. And the HVAC company may no longer have any R22 Freon in stock. They may not be able to get parts for your old R22 Freon unit, and they may have to install a new R410A AC system. And they may tell you, well, we can't just replace the outside unit, we have to replace the A coil inside the furnace. And unfortunately, the A coil for an R410A system won't fit in your existing furnace. There's nothing wrong with your furnace, but it won't accommodate the A coil necessary for the new R410A system. So we're going to have to replace your furnace too. And along with that, we're going to have to replace your line set. Now, some of those old R22 line sets can be cleaned. Others may need to be replaced. You could easily spend over $10,000 for even a small furnace and AC system. Now, you might be able to get it cheaper depending on what part of the country you're in, and if you find a reputable company that isn't charging an exorbitant amount, maybe you can find an independent to do the work. But a lot of these companies, they really mark up the equipment. It can be very expensive. Maybe you bought a home as is and you moved in and found out about plumbing issues. There could be a collapsed drain from the home to the street. And maybe you thought that that would be the responsibility of the city. Surprise, it's not. It's your responsibility as the homeowner to get a company to come out with a backhoe to be able to remove all of the dirt and dig to that depth to replace that old clay tile drain line with a more modern PVC drain line can be incredibly expensive. Now, maybe someone bought a home and it has that concrete board siding and it now needs to be repainted. Well, some of these modern homes, they look cute with all of the architectural details on the outside, and I understand some of that concrete board siding is supposed to be very robust. A lot depends on how well it was installed, in my opinion, but if you need to have the entire exterior repainted, that could be expensive. And what people don't understand is that some builders, they hire the cheapest subcontractors that they can get. And some of those subcontractors may cut that paint. And that paint job that they originally applied when that build was new may not last as long as you would think. Well, you could be spending thousands upon thousands of dollars to have a company come out and repaint the complete exterior of the home, especially if there are a lot of architectural details. Now, some people might think, oh, I can get the exterior of my home painted for $1,000 or $2,000. Now, maybe if you have a home that's completely covered in vinyl siding and all you have are wood trim boards, maybe you can get all the trim painted for that much. If you need to paint the entire exterior of a home, it's not going to be cheap. Sorry to break the news to you. A lot of homeowners have no idea how expensive things are to service throughout the years. And my heart goes out to these people that are getting the surprise of their life when they meet with a contractor. Some may have electrical problems. They may have purchased a property as is. They waived inspections, and come to find out, it doesn't even have 100 amp electrical service. It has an old 60 amp panel with fuses instead of breakers. And now they need to have repairs made, and the electrical company is breaking the bad news to them that it's going to be incredibly expensive to have work done on that antiquated system. Maybe the insurance carrier is no longer willing to insure that property because it only has 60 amp electrical service with knob and tube wiring. They may want modern wiring and at least 100 amp electrical service. To get a new electrical entrance installed in a property is very expensive. If you have to have a company use a fish tape to be able to run new wiring in all of the old walls and then pull those through modern boxes, well, that's going to be really expensive too. I realize some folks want it, the American dream. They went out, they wanted to purchase their dream home. It's just really bothers me that some people didn't know what they were getting. And understand, I'm not bashing these folks. Truly, my heart goes out to these people because some right now may be in a financial predicament where they need these things repaired on their home, but they can't afford it. They may even struggle to make the payments, assuming the contractor offers payments. And many larger companies do offer payments because they've come to realize that a lot of Americans do not have thousands of dollars in cash laying around to pay for a repair. And these companies are able to offer payment plans. Some people can't even afford to make those monthly payments. They are already stretched thin financially due to what is going on in the American economy. Everything in life continues to get more expensive. Car insurance, home insurance, groceries at the store, daycare, the list goes on and on. So what happens moving forward? Well, I really don't know. There are so many different circumstances for these Americans who purchase these properties who are now faced with expensive maintenance. Some may decide to throw in the towel. They may decide to let their property get foreclosed on. And that's really tragic for them because it impacts their credit, and it's also not good for the financial institution. There may be other people who have family members that can help them out financially. Not everyone is in that type of position though. There may be some that have to go out and get a second or third job to be able to afford the payments on the maintenance that they just had to get completed on their home. This is not a good situation. I'm curious if any of you know people that purchased a property during the housing mania in the past few years, and now they live to regret it because of expensive maintenance. If you know about people like this, I'd love to hear about their stories in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.